Greetings, everyone. Today's guest for the podcast, most people don't, but you do, is Ulric Musset. He's the founder of Marbalism, and essentially it's a platform that allows you to have the equivalent of 7 AI employees to help you grow your business. And it's so inexpensive. It's about $39 per month. He created it because he was paying individuals well over $2,000 a month to help with all different elements. And he thought, how can I help other businesses grow their revenue? So if you ever wish you needed help, if you're being swamped with too many emails, it's a really, really cool tool. And I believe it's worth listening to understand why he created this and how you can benefit. I will also have an affiliate link and discount code included in the show notes so you can try it for yourself. Without further ado, here is Ulric Musset, founder of Marbalism. Welcome to the show. This podcast is called Most People Don't, But You Do, where we find unique people all over the world that are doing things exceptionally. I will share a little bit about how I met this gentleman, but first would like to introduce Ulric Musset. It's U-L-R-I-C, and the French way of presenting it, Ulric, and yes. Musset, M-U-S-S-E-T. He's the founder of an incredible organization called Marbalism, and that's M-A-R-B-L-I-S-M. Most importantly, welcome to the podcast. It's top 2 to 5% consistently around the world. You have a remarkable story. You have an incredible product, and I wanted to get you on just so I can learn more about you and our listeners can learn as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot. Yes. Thanks, Bart. Thanks a lot for having me. Really excited to get the conversation going.
He's joining us from London currently.
Yes.
So different time zone, of course. Before we hit record, he was sharing with me that Marbalism, and I'm saying it correctly, correct? Marbalism?
Yeah, Marbalism.
Marbalism is currently the number one. I'll let you share. Will you tell us right now? Because there's a contest that's going on right now. By the time it gets released, hopefully we'll be able to include in the show notes that you won. But can you share, Ulric?
Yes, it's a daily competition, essentially about the best new tech products that get released across like AI or productivity. It's called Product Hunt, and I've never won it in my entire life. I tried to launch twice on it, and these times we are winning. So there is still a couple of hours. The competition is still running, but hopefully we would have won when people are going to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, and so it's Product Hunt, I believe, producthunt.com. And yes. I have a sense, Ulric, that when this gets released, we're going to say congratulations that you finished, you and your team, number one.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, Ulric, I want to tell our listeners a little bit about the product, but I would like to start with you first. So you have a lovely accent. You are
from Lyon.
Lyon?
In France, yeah.
In France. How did you start creating something so unique? I know this is not your first company. It's probably your third or fourth that you have created. Would you share with our listeners a little bit about growing up? Were you always interested in computers and technology? Were you a good kid? Were you a bad kid? What were you like as a child?
I was really a nerd, so like a good kid. I was good in high school, etc. I just had no friends. I was spending my time trying to build websites, etc. My first website was a platform to share fan fiction between writers and readers, a bit similar to Wattpad nowadays. And so I did that. I did a video game as well that was really successful, but no money made on that one. And then I think when I was 15, 16, I completely stopped building anything because I think it's in every man where we want to attract girls, right? We want to get the attention from girls. And so I was like, okay, girls don't care about my little websites and video games. So I'm going to try to go to the gym and try to build muscles. So that's what I did for 2-3 years. And it was not working either. So I was like, okay, at least I'm ripped now. And then when I was 18, I remember the story perfectly. Facebook acquired WhatsApp for 20 billion or something. And I was like, oh my God, like maybe nerds are back. And so that's when I decided to continue building startups or building small projects. So the next I did was a fashion app, some kind of Tinder for fashion where you can swipe across a piece of clothing. And on this one, I made all of the mistakes like entrepreneurs will make on their first business or on their first startup. We fought with my co-founder on the name for 1 month, then on the logo and the visual aesthetic of the design, etc., for another month. And then we went on building the product for 6 months without talking to any potential users, right? Like we were deep on in our cave, or not in our cave, but in our flat, building something, thinking people will care, but not talking to potential users, right, of the product. And when we released it, nothing happened, right? Because first we were not interested into fashion, so I don't know why we picked the idea initially. And yeah, it was just not us, right? So this failed.
Okay. And Ulric, before we continue with that, I want to get back to, so as a child, you were building websites. As a child, so you had access to computers. Were your parents in that field? It just seems very unusual that a child 8, 9, 10, 11 years old would be building websites. Were you encouraged by your family, or how did that happen?
Not really. My parents are teachers, and we got access to internet, I think, not before everyone, but we were one of the first one, I think, in France to have access to internet or to a computer. And so I remember, and I think it's a lot of people that taught themselves young on how to code. They have the exact same learning path, where first, when you are 12 or 13, you want to play video game, right? And the second thought you have is, I want to create a video game. That's so cool. And so that's how then you Google how to start a video game or how to develop a video game. And then you go down the rabbit hole of learning how to code, learning about projects, startups, and so on. And it's funny because I talk to a lot of people that started very young on developing websites and this kind of stuff. And we all have the exact same story, where we play video game, we wanted to create our own. And that's how I started building startup without even knowing what it meant.
Yeah. So it started with something that was fun, playing video games, because I'm much older than Ulric. So there were it was new for us, Pong and Atari, some of the old traditional things back in the early 70s. Those were the games that I played. But it never even occurred to me that I would want to create something. And I'm thinking it's probably dealing with the time, it's dealing with access to the internet and the sophistication. Did your parents, as educators, did they encourage you to say, Ulric, you should, here's a newer computer, Ulric, you should take classes? Or was it all self-driven? You knew that you liked playing video games and you knew that you could create one because you could teach yourself. Is that how it worked?
So my parents, I think they did an amazing job to always follow me on my passion, right? For example, I remember when I was 12, I wanted to be a football player. I wanted to be a goalkeeper.
Okay.
And I was really serious about it. I would come at school with my football gear every day. And so I was really serious about it, etc. And I was I was a good student, right? So my parents, I think if I had kids one day, my first reaction would be like, kid, you're really good at school. You don't be a football player, like just be good at school and you're gonna have a great career, right?
Yeah.
But my parents were like, okay, if you want to be a goalkeeper, let's go to a training center and we're gonna enroll you, right? If you pass the test. So they took me to a football like training center near my hometown. And I remember passing the test, etc. And the guy was like, "You're the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen. Like, you will never, you're the worst. You will never make it." I was like, "Well, at least I tried." And then I went on something else. And then later, I wanted to be a firefighter. So same, came to my parents, want to be a firefighter. They said, "No problem. We're gonna try to get like the best school. They can teach you, etc." And so they always follow me on my different ideas and passion without any preconceived ideas or anything. And I think as a kid, that's extraordinary. Like for me, it's a big gift to have the support of your parents, even though some of your ideas may be original or not expected, right?
Yes. And I think that's a good lesson for our listeners as well. I'm just thinking about me growing up. my parents supported whatever I wanted to do. So I was tall, so I played basketball. My father was a wrestling coach, so I tried wrestling. I started playing volleyball. But then when I tried wrestling and I didn't like it, I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I tried it, but I don't like it. He's okay. I'm glad you tried. So I think it's unique that you had that exposure, Ulric, that your family was supportive with whatever you wanted to try. Because I think sadly now, and we have two children that are mid 20s now, I don't think we ever push them into things, but I think often parents might be pushing them into certain things. I did this, and I never was a professional football player, so we're going to see if we can get you to be a professional football player. It's very refreshing to hear that your parents were open to whatever you wanted to do. When do you think, Ulric, they realized that you were really good at computer processing and creation of digital things? When do you think they realized that?
It's a good question. I think so. On the project, like the platform to share fan fiction, etc., I remember there was a networking event in Paris about different tech players in this industry of publication, etc. And I asked them, like, I want to be in. Can you take me to Paris? And so I attended this networking event. I lied about my age when people were asking me. I was like, I'm 16 or 17, and I was literally 12 or 13, something like that. And so they took me to buy my first suit where I looked ridiculous. I don't remember how I looked. But so that was my first networking event where I was trying to speak in English. Like, it was very weird. But I think that's maybe when they realized that, okay, something is happening, and he's pretty good with, computer website, like this type of things.
Yeah. Knowing that you're very good at it, why do you think you like computers, technology? What satisfies you about doing what you are doing and creating?
I think it's more the act of creation. Like, I just wanted to create things, and that may be computer software program, or that may be something else. When after all my different like failed startups when I was young, with my co-founder, we were like, okay, we try software. It didn't work for us. Let's try to open a French bakery in London.
Okay.
And so we were watching hours of videos on YouTube, I remember, about how to make like French croissant, etc. And we were scouting different locations in London. Like, we just wanted to create something or to build something or to do something. Yeah. But for me, the shape is not really important. Like, I could have been doing a French bakery. I think I would have been really happy.
Yeah.
It's just that you need to wake up super early, and I'm more late night. So that would have been difficult. But I could have been happy.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the shape is not really important. It's just the act of creation. I always love creative things or building things.
And I'm always looking for a line or two when we interview our guests that might be the title. And you just shared something, and I want to repeat it. You just wanted to create. It didn't matter what the shape was. It didn't matter if it was a French bakery in London. It didn't matter if it was a new game. Didn't matter if it was a fashion website. Didn't matter if it was really anything, but this ability to create, that is so unique, Ulric. That is so unique.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you, and I'm going to back up just a little bit, with your parents being educators and working for a school system, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a reason why perhaps you didn't take the path of, I'm going to go work for IBM or Leidos or Lenovo or Hewlett Packard? Do you think there's a reason why you chose this entrepreneurial path of creation? I'd like to give a shout out and a very big thanks to our sponsor for today's podcast episode. It is wishes.inc. Many people carry thoughts like, my small donation is not going to make a difference. I don't have enough money to help. People won't use the money wisely. Well, these are stories. These are not truths. What this organization has created, wishes.inc, provides documentation and transparency showing you that every gift counts. You can literally see the impact. You can help instantly without red tape. And then generosity does not need to be complicated. It can be joyful, direct, and fulfilling. There's going to be a link to the website off of our show notes. But if you would like some more information, please go to wishes.inc.
No, I think the short answer is that I like to create, and I think all business owners or entrepreneurs can identify as well with the feeling of having all the first payments that hit your account, all the first users that like your product. So this feeling is incredible. And I think it's a core feeling of being validated, right, as a human being, because you created something and another individual found it useful. And that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
really amazing. Yeah.
So it's not only the reason that you like to create, didn't matter what shape it was, using that creativity to build something. And then when you build something and someone likes it, it makes you feel good when you're creating it, and it makes you feel good when you are seeing that it is being embraced and
Correct.
seeing
Yeah.
that
That's
it's
the best
useful.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just share with you a little example, and I certainly open up, and my listeners know this. There were two opportunities today that I was waiting to hear from. And the first one, I said, how did you get approval? And the answer was no, sadly, we didn't get approval because we need to make sure that our other regions are doing what we do, and they didn't hire a speaker. So sadly, we can't hire a speaker. And I was like, oh, and it would have been great. It would have fit perfectly. I was already checking airfare to go to this location. It would have been so great. It would have reconnected me into certain people, but they said no. So, Ulric, when I got home, this sounds really strange, but again, being transparent, I am now looking. I have 4 places to look, 5 places to look. I can look at Marbalism to see if and we're going to get to your product because it's brilliant. I can look at Marbalism to see if Stan, the salesperson, has any luck with outreach. I can look at Outlook to see my email, if anyone has said anything good. I can look at Facebook. I can look at LinkedIn. I could look at WhatsApp. So there's 5 or 6 places that I could look. And right before this call, Ulric, I didn't see anything that helped to validate me.
Yeah.
There was nothing. I was searching 5 or 6 places to validate me, and I found none of them. And this is what I teach also when I'm in front of audiences of 5,000 people. This is what I teach. It's how we are going to react to certain things. It's how we're going to handle adversity, how we're going to handle challenges, how we can continue to stay positive, how we perhaps don't even need validation, Ulric. We don't need validation because I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. I know I have a great message to share. And if it wasn't for this one opportunity that did not happen, guess what? Tomorrow there's going to be 37 opportunities. So it's really interesting. The element of pleasing people. Do you think that is, Ulric, very confidentially in front of millions of people, not confidentially, very transparently? Do you lack confidence?
I don't think so, but I'm going to return you the question on, do you think you can live your life with zero validation at all?
No, I don't think we are strong enough in here in hearts and minds to be able to live contently, purposely, without any regard to other people's views of you. I don't personally, for me, no. I care too much about other people. I want to please other people. I want other people to feel better, do better, and get better. So when I present, I want 1,000 people to be looking me in the eye and taking the message so they can do what most people don't do, whatever that doing thing is after the conference. So I don't think I could do it. And what is your response to that?
No, I don't think either, but it doesn't necessarily mean you lack confidence if
Yes.
you like validation. And for me, validation is not that the people will like me as a person, but it's more that they find what I do useful to the world, or at least a limited group of people. And it can be one person or 2 people.
Yeah.
But find that your contribution on the world is useful.
Yes.
Not necessarily that they like you or they find you're a funny guy or a good guy,
Yeah.
but they like your contribution.
Yes. And I guess it's different because you are producing a product, and I'm just comparing you to me respectfully. My product is me, and my product that's my ideas that I'm sharing on stage or via podcast with other people. So my product is probably even more closely tied into me,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So I could like Ulric or I could not like Ulric, but I love Marbalism. So it's different. I'm going to switch gears again, and I want to get back to you and your product. I asked you the other day when we had initial call, why did you do it? And you had shared, as you referenced a little bit, if you're a nerd, the girls aren't attracted to the nerds, but then you started to see other successful technology people being attracted to that. So one, you were doing it for the girls and for the attention. But then secondly, and you touched upon it just now, Ulric, it's the element of doing something that is going to help others, doing something that you have worked tirelessly for so many different hours, so many different lessons, so many failures along the way, but you have created something that is truly going to help others. Where do you think that comes from, Ulric? A lot of technological developers don't really care about helping people.
It's a good question. I think it's the same answer when you are building something, you want it to be useful, right? So you want it to help people. And again, helping people could mean they're going to buy a croissant and enjoy the croissant. That's helping people. That makes them feel happy, etc. They had a good croissant, and hopefully it's not like a industrial one, right? It's one made with French love.
Yeah.
And you could make a Marbalism and help people to scale their businesses, etc. But for me, it's the same thing, right? It's to create a good product, you need that people like this product and find it useful. But again, it doesn't matter what the shape, or there is no profound emotional engagement. But to break through, to do a breakthrough, you need to help people, or at least do something that they find useful or that they like listening to, that they find it inspiring, etc. That's helping as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And did your parents instill that value in you growing up? That Ulric, you should, when you grow up, yes, you can create shapes, whatever you want to do, but you should always help people. Did your parents instill that in you, or were you born with that?
No, I think it was just a natural value. They didn't have to tell to repeat it to me every day.
Yeah. All right. So this leads now to Marbalism. Marblism. I'll share with you how I was introduced to it. And I think I had shared this with you the other day. Michael Politz was a guest. He's the founder of Food and Beverage Magazine out in Las Vegas. And I know once I said the name, you're like, oh yeah, Michael and I communicate all different times. Anyway, I was asking him about the future and how he continues to learn. And he shared, I do this, and I also use an incredible tool called Marbalism. And as soon as he said it, I got off the phone, I logged in, I signed up, and I'm beginning to learn how to use your tool to the best of my ability. Now, for those people that do not know what Marbalism is, what is the simplest way of explaining what it is? And then I want to share my thoughts on how I find it valuable. Our job with this podcast is to educate people on how they can find their passion, how they can learn from an entrepreneur, how they can understand that as long as they're creating shape, doesn't matter what it looks like, that they have the support of their parents. We've already learned like 30 things, me and our listeners, on how we could apply that to enrich our own lives. Okay. But I would like to hear first from you. How would you describe what Marbalism is?
So Marbalism is a team of AI employees to help people like you, people like me, people like a lot of your audience, a lot of your listeners, business owners, entrepreneurs, grow and scale their businesses. So we have various different AI employees that help across different tasks, right? So one, for example, is Eva that I have here on my phone. And she's going to filter your inbox. She's going to prepare draft replies based on your own tone. So this only saves me at least an hour a day, like replying to, we all receive like hundreds of emails per day. And most of them are not important. They are marketing junk that she's going to filter out from your inbox so you can focus on what you need to action. And she's going to provide as well a draft answer directly in your inbox, ready to send by analyzing all the conversation you had with this person, all of your online meetings, etc. And so that's just one. And so we have
so that's
seven.
one. So
Yeah.
5 in total, correct?
7 now. Yeah.
Oh, 7. Sorry, maybe I need to upgrade. 7, we're going to call them AI teammates, colleagues, employees. What do you like the term? What do you term?
AI employees, that's the name we went for.
Okay. Yeah, AI employees. And as Ulric was just sharing, Ava is one of them. Ava is an assistant. And what I think is just the coolest thing, and hopefully this is okay. I know I led you into sharing what it is, but I want to share the application of it. Ava you educate Marbalism, right? You can share documents, you can share websites, you can share competitors, you can share press releases and PDFs and presentations. So the Marbalism gets to know your team. The 7 people get to know your company. There are so many applications. My mind was spinning as soon as I first touched upon Marbalism. So Ava, as your assistant, is going to go through and tag your emails if you want her to. This is marketing. This is what you need to respond to. This is to file. This is urgent. This is an urgent customer request. This is to read later, whatever categories you want. And I was blown away, Ulric, that Ava labeled all of my emails so I could then quickly sort if I wanted to. I need to respond to these, I can read later. But what really then blew me away is when I went to my draft emails, and this was by accident because I didn't even know this was a feature. She begins to reply in your tonality, your voice, your words, a response. Unbelievable. In the hours that are being saved, I just started using it, I guess probably about 2 weeks ago. And I love also about Marbalism that it calculates the number of hours saved. It has saved me 51 hours so far.
You're at 51. That's good.
51 hours already in 2 weeks. And just an example, right? If I pull up an email that I would have drafted, I don't need to draft. So it's a response to Ulric. We're so excited for you to be on the podcast. Here's an attachment that we can reference. And if we want a follow-up call, Bart is available on this day and this day. So even like shares my Calendly link out there. We'll block appointments. It's unbelievable. And that's just Ava. So that's just one.
That's just one. Yeah.
That's just one. And then there's other ones that I want to touch upon. But this whole element of having 7 AI employees to help you, Ulric, how did that idea even come about? Because it's not about French baguettes or pastry croissants. It's about building a team. Can you share with our listeners?
Sure. So I talk a lot about my failed project. I had one success, my last one. It's a startup I created out of uni with a co-founder. And we were helping people to build and launch investment funds, venture capital funds, because launching a venture capital fund is complex. It's a lot about regulation, taxes, financial reporting, etc. It was a nightmare. Honestly, we worked so much. It was crazy. and so I scaled this business in 4 years to 65 real employees. It was pre-AI and 5 million revenue. And then I sold it to an American company called Carta. And when I was running this business with my co-founder, we were pure hustler, right? We were working really like 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week. And to help us, after 3 years, we started looking into virtual assistant, right? That you can outsource some of your work as an executive, as a manager. And so I had one executive assistant. She was called Sarah. She was really amazing. And she was doing exactly what you described. She was filtering my inbox, preparing draft replies to my investors, to my customers, to everyone. And I was paying her, I remember, $2,000 a month, but she was definitely worth it, right? It was the best investment. And I was working still a lot, but not crazy hours, right? And so I did that for a couple of things, right? I had another virtual assistant that was helping me create what we called thought leadership on LinkedIn. And that worked really well because most of our customers, potential customers, were really active on LinkedIn. So I grew my account to 10,000 followers, and that was working pretty well. And I had another freelancer as well that was helping us on the SEO, right? On how to make your website rank in a higher position on Google.
Yeah.
So I had this whole team, and it was life-changing, right? Like I could reclaim finally my time. I had more time to spend on bigger projects, etc. And so when I sold this business, I asked myself, like, what should I do next? What's my next venture? And I wanted to build something to help people like me, people like you, business owners, entrepreneurs, get this power I once tasted, but for a fraction of the cost, right? Instead of spending 5,000, because we had 5 million in revenue. That's not all business have 5 million of revenue and can spend $10,000 on executive assistant. And so that's how it started. Basically, I designed all of these different AI employees, and I replicated exactly how I used to work with my virtual assistant into AI employees for a fraction of the cost. It's $39 per month. It's pretty cheap for what you can get access to.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it came as a result of, I just want to summarize what I heard, Ulric. It came as a result of you running a different business with a lot of different employees and then moving on to another business where you needed some help. You didn't have 65 employees and you are working tremendous hours. How can I begin to outsource some of the things that I would normally do? So you hired a couple of virtual assistants, one to help as an executive assistant, one to help with writing, one to help with SEO, all of these different things. And that enabled you to basically focus in on more design and the things that you're really good at. Because
Correct.
You don't need to be working 82 hours if you can have a great assistant that can help you only work 72 hours. So that was the thought process, correct?
Yes, exactly. And essentially, to work more on what I like to do as well, right?
Yeah.
And what I think I'm good at, instead of spending time replying emails and going through, etc., which is very tiring. You can count it in your work and say, oh my God, I'm working 90 hours a week. I'm a crazy guy. But if you reply to your email for 30, 40 hours, like it doesn't count, right? That's not what's going to make your business bigger, the fact that you reply to emails. So it doesn't really count in real work. But you've got to do it, right?
Yeah, you have to do it. It's a necessary evil, but it's not allowing you to grow the business like you would want to grow the business.
Exactly.
Yeah. How long has Marbalism been out to the public? How many years or how long?
Not so long. We launched in April, so it's pretty.
In April. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
recent.
not even years. Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start? How long did it take you before launch to create Marbalism?
Yeah. So it took us 6 months to build the first version of the product. And of course, the goal is to create more AI employees, right? To run your AdWords campaign, to run your TikTok or Facebook campaign. And I think the AI employees that is going to be the most important for the vision is going to be the kind of CFO or financial accountant that is going to connect to your QuickBooks or connect to your Xero. And if we do that, then we can optimize all of the different AI employees to work towards the bottom line of making more revenue. So the vision for me is I want to be able to say confidently in a year, 2 years, and it's backed by data. It's not just marketing. If you sign up to Marbalism, your business will grow by 10 or 20% every year because it's backed by data of all of the agents contributing towards this goal. And I think that would be fantastic if we can achieve it. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And I know you will. So it's going to be backed by data showing revenue results and increases in business. In addition to, because right now, the value that you are showing, it's decreased time. It's time given back to you as the founder, as the entrepreneur. All right. I want to go just absolutely brilliant. I want to go over a few of the other AI employees, if you don't mind. Can you tell us about Stan?
So Stan is your sales rep. It was very funny, actually. So I'm gonna say what he does, and then I can tell you a funny story. So he's connected to a database of 700 million of leads, right? By category, by industry, by job titles, etc. And so what he does is that he knows your target customers. So for example, if you are micropolitics that you are selling like food and beverages, right? It's going to be in the food and beverage businesses. And Stan is going to reach out to potential customers, potential leads. He's going to reach out to them by email and then follow up with them if they have not replied automatically. And every time you get a positive reply, that's right in your inbox, but he sends you a message as well. You've got a potential client here. It's a way to find new customers. And at the end of the day, that's what people and entrepreneurs really care about, right?
Yeah.
Because we love to save time, but we love even more make more money.
Yeah, of course. You
Let's
want
be
to grow
real,
your
right?
business. And now
Yeah.
you have someone, and I didn't realize the intensity of the database. So I know whenever I filled it out and I am sharing because there was abundance in the world. I want more people to know about Marbalism. I thought maybe I'll keep it as a secret because it's helping me so much, but that's not fair. There is abundance in the world, especially with what you were doing and how you're doing it. So I want everyone to know.
That's really
Whenever I
good.
completed the initials, is this a good podcast for you? We're telling everyone all the great things about Ulric and Marbalism, but I believe it, and that's why I'm so enthusiastic. Whenever I completed it, it was asking me what type of people are my customers. So these are
Yes.
CEOs, executive directors, event planners, meeting planners, people that are planning conferences. And so here we are, even on a Saturday and a Sunday, and I had to tell it not to send out emails on a Saturday and a Sunday, my mistake, but it is probing. It is sending out emails in my tone asking for, can you connect me to the person that plans events for your organization? This is Stan. I work with Bart Berkey, founder of Most People Don't. And it is unbelievable the amount of outreach that Stan has given for me when I am not necessarily working and focusing on outreach. He is helping me, and that's hopefully satisfying you, Ulric. It works. It is working, and we're getting some very nice positive responses from people because we're putting in the tonality that makes sense, and we're using your tool in AI to say what is the best way to attract an email response. It's not by saying we're giving away something. It's more about let's empower your team before the season starts. That's interesting, right? We've worked with X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's cool. Former Ritz-Carlton global executive. That's interesting. So Stan and your AI is helping to create these things. I just think it is absolutely brilliant. You're like, what other industries have you seen have great success with using your tool so far?
That's the favorite part. That's the favorite, part of my job is that I get to know every industries, and so I do this every day. I do an onboarding sessions, right, with our customers, where I introduce them to the product and how to use it, etc. And
Mhm.
before the session starts, I ask them, "What do you do? Right? Businesses are you in? What's your industry, etc." And what really amazed me is that it's everything. So we have a girl that has a horse riding center in Arkansas. We have a guy that is running an escape room in New York. Another guy that is doing swimming pool maintenance in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
And that's amazing, right? To do something that is truly, useful to a lot of different, businesses. So you can have a startup founder that wants to go to the moon, etc., using the product. You may have a local businesses where they need to grow as they don't necessarily have all the resources to hire like a marketing director or like a sales rep, etc. So that's really what I like the most is to really learn, what our customers are doing, right? What are their businesses and so on.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible what you're doing. And I just logged into the system and I was using one of the team members. I don't even know who, but it was big updates for today. You get to interview Ulric, the founder, on the podcast. So it was looking at my calendar and essentially sending me a note and saying, big day today, good luck, which
That's
like surprises me, and it probably surprises you as well.
yeah.
It's just so fun. There's one other element, and maybe I can describe this rather quickly. There is a social media manager named Sunny, and I would encourage people to look at the tool, go through the demo, sign up if you believe it's going to help you. But I think it will. What else is really cool, and this is something that is helping me, Ulric, is I have tons of content. We record every single time I present on stage. Every single podcast is recorded. But what we were having a challenge with is you don't have enough time. You're creating new content. you're presenting next week, you're traveling out of the country in a couple of weeks. You don't have time to stop and think, okay, I need a social media marketing strategy. And so now, with the help of what you have created, right, Sunny is coming up with posts based on what you feed into the AI team members. They're coming up with captions. They put it on a plan. We're going to get this one out on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at this time. Just absolutely brilliant. What success are you hearing from your customers with regard to the social media manager aspect and what Sunny is doing? Have you heard any great stories?
Yeah, so the guy I mentioned earlier that is doing swimming pool maintenance, Sony wrote an article about how to fight a specific bacteria in swimming pool. I don't remember the name of the bacteria, but like how to do it yourself, fight it without hiring someone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this article blew up, and now it's getting like hundreds of visitors a day that come across this article and then go on his website and start booking services, because of course 90% of the people want the answer, and the answer is very complex on how you're supposed to fight. So then they're like, okay, I'm going to book some service with this guy, an appointment with this guy, so he can do it. So that's a really good success. We're having a ton.
Yeah. In what, without giving away secrets, and I don't even know if I can even ask this question. So a lot of people are using different AI tools, right? ChatGPT, Script that does video editing, right? CapCut. There's just so many different tools for different things. The AI that you are using, and again, I don't even know how to say this. Did you create the AI, or is it linking into other AI tools? If that's not a proprietary question.
No, I can give some insight on how we build it, but essentially, yeah, we are using a lot of different AI models in the background.
Okay.
Because what we realize is some are more useful on some tasks. They are better at writing, they are better at generating pictures, etc. So our goal is always to use the best model available on the market for certain type of task. And on top of that, and that's the secret sauce, we developed like some kind of an algorithm to tweak the answer from the AI to make it sound more human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this, we analyze like all of the grammar and the languages, because what's really frustrating with ChatGPT is that it feels like it's ChatGPT. When you read AI generated stuff online, you can immediately get it. And so that's why we developed this algorithm. And so all of the content that is produced by AI passed all the check and tests on AI generated content. And that's really important, right? Because you don't want to post on your LinkedIn or post on your blog and everyone sees that it comes from ChatGPT.
Yes. Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time to work on this algorithm.
So the humanization of AI based on other tools that are out there, that is what is your special sauce of what you have created, in addition to the customization, the learning, the 7 individuals that can help you do your job. Last 2 questions, Ulric. And again, I think you're a phenomenal gentleman. Congratulations. And thank you for sharing so many things, because I know our listeners are going to be able to benefit from this, just like I am. Two other questions. You and I, when we spoke, I guess it was last week, you were talking about trying to help people. And a conversation, I asked if I could ask you this. 7 individuals that are now helping me. Are you concerned that I am now not paying 7 other individuals that could be helping me, human beings, because I'm now relying on your tool for a much better cost perspective? How do you answer the question of you're taking away jobs, Ulric?
Yeah, no, it's a delicate question, and that's why I was not sure I wanted to talk about it. But so I mentioned that because it's true that we receive like 2-3 emails a day from customers where they're like, your product is amazing. I let go of my virtual assistant. And I don't know how to take it, because on one side, it definitely proves the point that it's working and that it's a good product. So it's good. But on the other side, someone just got fired, right? Because of us. So I think definitely the goal, the main thesis is that we targets businesses that can't necessarily spend $6,000 per month on a marketing director.
Yeah.
And so it's cheaper to get $39 subscription. But at the same time, our goal for those customers is to scale their businesses, right? As I say, if you sign up, you grow by whatever percentage, right? We're going to work towards that goal. And so if you do that and you grow your business thanks to Marbalism, then you can hire this marketing director. And of course, a really good marketing director is going to be way better than Marbalism, of course. The human taste, etc., and what they're going to be able to do. If you find a good one, that's going to be better than Marbalism. There is no way around it, right? But to help you to get there, I think Marbalism is useful and it has a great value for money, right? So that's kind of how I see, that's how I see things.
Yeah, no, and I love that answer. And it is, and I'm accepting that answer also and applying it to me, is that this Marbalism is now going to help me grow to be able to achieve more speaking opportunities, more revenue. And then when I get that, then I'm going to be able to hire even more people on my team to help me grow even more. So it's almost like a kickstart, right? It's a little bump, it's a little edge. But for those individuals that think that they're just alone in starting something good or positive, right, you're not alone, because a tool like this can really help. And I just think it's incredible. There was one other component, gosh, and I'll just say this lastly, the receptionist, and let me get her name, receptionist Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel. And this absolutely blew me away as well. It gave me a phone number. So yes, I have my mobile number. It's affiliated with it, but it also gave me a different phone number, a US number, because that's where I'm based. And I advised it as to what to say. And boy, when you talk about having a virtual AI person that can answer your phone, right? Good morning. Most people, thank you for calling. Most people don't. This is Rachel. How may I assist you? Absolutely amazing. So we played around with it, Ulric, and my cousin made some phone calls and gave details with regard to, I want to see if I can talk to Bart now. So then it would try transferring them to me right away. Or can I set up a time that I can speak with Bart if he's not available, and says, we have this available and this available, and then scripts the response in an email back to me. So I know that Deborah with Merch Madness called. Just, it's brilliant. And you probably don't need to hear that again, but I'm going to keep on telling you, Ulric, what you have created. It's surprising.
No, thank you. Thanks a lot. And Rachel, she is one of the most, people love to work with her. What's funny as well is that some people asked if they can change her face and change her name. Mm-hmm. And I was like, when you hire someone, you should not hire them based on their look. At least you shouldn't do it, at least. So that's why you don't have the option to change her name right now or to change her voice. And so we are trying to keep this parallel, right, with a real person. You accept them for their skills and not on how they look. But I find it funny, that people try to ask, can I rename you, or can you speak differently? Yeah.
Oh, goodness. You have created something phenomenal, Ulric, and I want to make sure that people are, if they need it, to rate, review, go to the website. I'm going to include a link in the show notes, right? It's marbalism.com, but I'll include a link so we can track how many people are listening and how many people are then going to go to the site. Again, I think it's just brilliant. 2 last questions, and I promise. You have a very comic book feel to the individuals, cartoonish also. Where did that come from?
So we had the choice between a 3D version of characters and more of a comic book style. And we went for the comic book just because I remember reading a lot of comic books when I was young, so I liked it. And I think it's the case of a lot of people as well. And it's not something frequently on tech product. Like I think I've never seen a product with that kind of brand. So we're like, okay, if we are trying to be different, like that could be it. And as well, we tried to verify that our hypothesis was correct by running some ads where one would show a 3D, like Disney kind of version, and the other one would show the comic book version. And the comic book had 2x better performance than the 3D one. So we were like, okay, we like it, and people seem to like it. definitely better than the others. So we just went for it.
And it stands out because you
Yeah, and it
chose
stands out,
to.
exactly, yeah.
If I'm exercising and I see on TikTok, I notice immediately an ad that's coming up for Marbalism. So again, congratulations and well done. You are doing what most people don't do. Fill in the blank, please. Most people don't blank.
I need to fill in the blank?
Yes, please.
Most people don't read enough, including me. I stopped reading for the last few months and I'm really angry at myself. So I used to love to read. And yeah, and it's funny as well because when you like business books, these type of things, you may think, okay, they are all very similar, but actually, even when you reread an existing books you've already read, it's just that sometimes you forgot. And it's good to get this kind of lessons about you need to be focused on one product, do it well, etc. And when you are doing it, you tend to forget all of the piece of advice you've already heard like 100 times. But when you reread it again, like it comes to mind, and I think it helps you in your business.
Yes.
That was a pretty long answer to fill.
No, it's terrific. And you can see in my background, Ulric, and I need to make sure that you get a copy of my book over here in green. Most people don't, and why you should. But I think that's a really good reminder to take time to learn and to remember the things perhaps that you did learn. And if you don't have time to read right now, if you use a tool like Marbalism, it's going to save you now 52 hours of work. So you have free time, right, to be able to read. So let me just summarize again, right? Ulric Musset, M-U-S-S-E-T, Ulric Musset, founder of Marbalism, out of London. Also, I think you're also on the West Coast occasionally with different.
I'm between, SF and London.
In between, but you have done some really cool things and creating, not just for the sake of creation, but creating because you enjoyed it. It didn't matter what shape it was, as long as you were creating, you're helping people, you fought through some challenges, you've made some mistakes, and now you're capitalizing on all those learnings and creating a tool that you believe is going to help founders, executive directors, entrepreneurs, people that own lawn companies, pool companies, floral companies, hotel companies, do their business better so they can grow and expand. And then they're going to hire more human beings so they continue to grow and expand and help more and more people. Did I just summarize your entire? Yes.
Beautiful. Better than myself. That's
we are thrilled. We are thrilled also, Ulric, to be able to partner with you. In the show notes, they'll be able to receive a discount if they click on a certain link. Thank you for that. It's the opportunity selfishly to get to know you, unselfishly to share what you're doing and celebrate it with the entire world. I think it is one of the coolest products I have seen in a very long time. I was so excited to be able to chat with you. So Ulric, thank you again for your time. Marbalism, Marblism.com. Ulric is Ulric. Last name Musset, Musset. Sorry for my lack of French pronunciation, but connect with him on LinkedIn and do whatever you can to support him. Ulric, thank you so much. You're a heck of a gentleman.
Thanks a lot, Bart, for having me. It was super fun conversation. Really liked it.